Hey y'all, this is Cardinal Live. It is finally Friday, and I was in a hot shop earlier working on all kinds of my two-cycle with engine equipment. Tune in if you can. This is Cardinal Live. Just waiting on some comments. Johnny Dog, he's in here. Waiting on some Jeff and everybody else to tune in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the one YouTube channel from last night. Yeah, that was a good one. Oh yeah. So yep. I'm just tuning in here. You can go watch basketball if you need. But last night was a great night, especially with the girls. And at least tonight I ain't get smacked around in the head with a baseball bat. My wife is good. Waiting on her to get home from work. See if I can't get Jeff to come in here. Or I mean Christopher Urige. See if I can't get Chris to come in to this call. Man, I got so many people that called me and I ain't returned their calls. Wow. I even got one voicemail that I got to listen to. Man, we might do that here in a few minutes, listen to a voicemail. But I got to get a phone call in right quick. All right, man. So, yeah, we're about to go listen to a voicemail here. And here in a few minutes, we're going to listen to a voicemail. It's probably from my sister or from a friend, but we are going to listen to the voicemail because I don't know who the phone call was from. I don't know the number, and if I don't know a number, I'm going to listen to that voicemail. So, with that all being said, hopefully everybody enjoyed last night. I know Johnny had said that he did, and everything like that. We had a whole full house last night on YouTube. Um, I got one that's on. I got two YouTubes as of right now. I got this one and then lawn maintenance. The lawn maintenance is the one that I'm going to be using on my phone whenever I'm recording, and then when I'm home in my office, the regular YouTube would be the one that's on my computer. So as of right now, Cardinal Lawn Life is available to whoever wants lawn care or whatever. I'm also hoping that I do get a bunch of work coming in. I do hope that when the summer hits, it's going to be a good summer. Tomorrow we got a birthday party. Shout out goes to Emmer and Olivia, the people that you had seen last night on YouTube. Um, so we got that going on tomorrow. and they got their theme, which is what you guys seen last night. Hello Kitty and Bluey. So that's a theme, and we're going to that. It's a birthday party for the girls that you had visited last night, even though Chris was, pretty late last night and stuff like that. But hopefully, we get a more crowd coming in here, and um, and I just hope that everybody tunes in like we did last night. And I had quite a few haters earlier today when I was out in the shop working on a two-cycle engine equipment, which was the weed eater and the blower. And now I'm down to 84 subscribers because I did have 85. And um, the people that come to find out that they just they subscribed because they were haters. With that being said, if you're a hater, I'm not going to tolerate it. You know, so you got to do that. So now I'm at 84 subscribers because I had a hater this morning talking about, oh, shut up, this, that, and the other. If you're going to be like that, then, and then I said to my dad, I said to them, oh, I can get my dad on here to settle all this. And then they got scared and that's why they subscribed. So I only got 84 subscribers as of right now. It is Friday. Hallelujah. So, with that being said, let's celebrate. So it's Friday. We got a birthday party to go to tomorrow. We're gonna eat a lot of cake and we're gonna get drunk off of sodas, and probably some Gatorade and whatever else my sister may be getting for this party. Um, we're just gonna get wild out there, spend time with the girls, because it's their party. It's going to be at a park. Who knows where and what the name of it is? But it's a blessing to be alive. It's a blessing to have careers and all kinds of stuff. So we got a birthday party that we're going to tomorrow. As that's being said, hello Jeff. That says lame all the time, which is getting kind of you know um, out of hand here. Um, as of right now, we had a lot of haters this morning, and with that being said, it's better now because we ain't got them. Um, it was just young kids trying to be morons. I mean, I'm sorry to say that, but if you're a young kid or whatever, then you can't do it. And yes, these microphones are perfect. We Emma used one yesterday, and it worked out for her good, and I used mine, and that worked out good. Just to be in a career is perfect. And of course Chris Yurich is going to say Jeff LOL. Laugh out loud is what LOL means, if you guys didn't know that out there. So and then ha 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 is laughing. So two multiple things there. um I came home last night, and we'll get into that here in a little bit on why I came home last night. um but but how are my fams doing tonight as we are speaking? As we are speaking, how are my fans this afternoon here on a Friday night at 7:30 or a little bit over 7:30? So ain't nobody gonna answer. How are we doing on here on a Friday night? How are we doing? Are we doing okay? A okay? Are we doing fine? What's the occasion here? What's going on? Start speaking some words. How are we doing here on a Friday night? At least I ain't getting hit with a darn inflate blown up baseball bat tonight. At least I ain't getting beat up with them. At least I ain't got Jason hitting me in the head with something that's inflatable and that don't even hurt my head. And here turning out lights and stuff. But let's get into why I'm here tonight. Let's because I didn't even stay. Let's get into why I didn't stay the night over at my sister's. Let's get into that because I know everybody's going to be wondering why. So Jason, I locked me out last weekend. Okay, to where I couldn't get into the house. He locked me and Emma out of the house last weekend, and then the last night that I was there, wanted to stay the night. And not to mention, I don't ever go there just for Jason. I go there for the girls. It's not for any other time. It's not for Jason. Okay. I don't ever go there over there for Jason. I go over there specifically for the girls, meaning Taya, my sister, and for Emma and for Olivia. I don't ever go over there for Jason McGuire. Okay. I don't ever go there for him. But he had locked me out last weekend when me and Chris were over there staying the night, whatever. And last night he did the same thing. I got him back for locking me out last weekend, and he wanted to sit there and talk about, oh, I was roughhousing this, that, and the other thing, and I wasn't really roughhousing. Okay, so main thing is that he got mad and locked both doors to where me and Emma were locked out, and stuff like that. So and my sister wanted to tell him, oh, well, each time that you get onto his nerves, you wonder why he gets mad. You wonder why this, you wonder why that, you wonder why this, you wonder why that. See, my sister, we're brother and sister, so she's always going to have my back. And Emma got in the middle of it, and she got in the middle of it and split us up, which was pretty smart. But with that all being said, I got to watch what I say here. But he's just a big kid, and I told him that in front of his face, and he said, "No, you're just a big kid because you don't know how to play." He don't either, not to mention. So that's why I'm here tonight, and I didn't get to stay the night over there. So I called my friend Joseph, and he shout out goes to him, and he brought me home last night. So um, and it's all good now because I'm here right where I need to be. And my aunt, shout out goes to her, Jackie Earhart. She told me I wouldn't. She said to me, "Oh, I wouldn't go back after the way he treated you. At least if he's not there." So I think if he's not there, I'm gonna go do what I want to do with my sister. But if he's there, I'm not gonna be anywhere around him because you know, he's just a big kid. He don't know how to horseplay or roughhouse or anything like that. He don't know how to get along with anybody. And that's with that being said, it's a blessing to be alive right now. I can't say nothing besides that, but I am grateful to be alive. And and I pretty much got in his face yesterday, and he pretty much told me something that I'm not even going to mention because I got to watch what I say. But um, you know, it's a blessing to be here, and it's a blessing to be on here talking to y'all. Um, but it is Friday. I'm great. I'm blessed. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that it's Friday and I can spend time with family, and then next week go to work because I'm gonna be pretty much working all next week. So that I'm grateful for and can't wait for. So um, you know, it's a blessing to be around, and it's a blessing to have people watching the YouTube live. So pretty much every day this week I've been alive. Um, and as my uncle Jeff Harris would say, every day this week I've been living. And yes, I have. And it's only because when they spell live, they spell it the same thing. They'll spell it the same thing as it's spelled the same way as live. So he'll be like, "Oh, you're going live." So live and live are spelled the same thing. So if I ever say live, live, whatever, it's meaning blessed to be on YouTube. In a way, I'm glad to be having fans and people watching. So um, if there's anything else that you prefer to talk about, because we're here for a while, we're gonna I'm gonna try to go until about 8:30 or so. I'm not gonna cut into no break time or whatever. But And Chris, I hope that he had a good work week working on these pools and getting them right. He said he only did two and he was done by 5 o'clock. He said he was done. So, that's a blessing too. Whenever you can work on a pool and say that you're done right at 5 o'clock, that's a blessing. Um, I wish I could do that, but I only work from early morning and then by the afternoon I'm done working. So I work on Joe time, not anybody else's time, because Joe time is being your own boss and doing what you need and be done with it. Um, I got a phone that says when I get a text message, it says, uh, "You have got a text message," or "Boss, you got a text message," or something like that. So it's a blessing to be my own boss and stuff like that. And I can't say this enough, but I hope that my business grows and I can get some employees, but I'm also having to make sure that I can make enough to pay them. I don't want to be taking advantage of anybody, saying taking them on and then they're working and then I don't pay them nothing. I don't want to be doing that. So I want to be paying a little bit of something to them, to the people that work for a living or whatever it may be. But you also got to be thinking about how you're gonna pay your own bills and stuff like that when you take on a new house or whatever by yourself, or if you're living by yourself, in the real world in the long terms and stuff like that. You want to figure out how you're paying the bills and getting around and having to pay groceries and pay the water bill, your electric bill, just something like that. You want to make sure you're making enough minimum wage to pay your bills around the house or your car insurance or something like that. So that's the main thing about this job that I like doing and doing and doing. So I mean, if my sister was able to get on tonight, it would be a blessing for her. I had watched a bunch of YouTube videos of me, and none of them yet have showed that I was growing a business. But it will eventually, in time, it will. The business will grow in time. It just takes time for the business to grow, and it takes time you know, to save money to get a lawnmower and stuff like that. And if you haven't checked out my Facebook page, yeah, I just posted a flyer for my business. I haven't got them made yet, but there is flyers on the Facebook page my my Facebook. So if you guys want to go check it out, feel free to do that. Um, and stuff like that. And there's some work stuff that you can, check out too. I think there's some before and after pictures of some jobs on there. Um, but without further notice and further ado, we're going to get right into the middle of this video. Um, what is your all's favorite thing to do? That's the main thing here of the topic tonight. We're going to play a little "What do you like to do" topic game here. So, what do you like to do on your guys' free time? Me, I like to play on my phone after work, watch TV, eat chips, and nothing but eat is what I like to do whenever I get done working. And then on my free time, I like to just fool around in the yard as much as I can, and then aggravate people inside the house. That's what I like to do. With you guys, I don't know what your favorite things are to do, but I think my least favorite, or what Chris's least favorite thing to do, is hang out with a Joe. I think that's what Chris's favorite or least favorite thing to do is hang out with Joe. Um, or his most favorite is to protect kids. That's what he likes to do when he's hanging out with me and my sister. He likes to protect girls and kids and stuff like that. He likes to protect them, keep them out of trouble. Uh, but the weather has been hot here in the past few days. Think in the 90s or the 80s, one of those, um, or a little bit hotter. But it's only going to get hotter within lawn care and stuff like that. So I got to get used to it. I don't know where everybody went, but I'm around and I'm here talking. So if anybody wants to kick in and tune in, that's fine by me. But I'm gonna see if I can't share this really quick while I'm here um, on Facebook. I'm gonna see what I can do here. I'm currently on my Facebook right now trying to post this so that way people can actually watch me on here as well, get more people in. But with that all being said, hopefully it's a blessing to y'all. Um, I try to do what I can when it comes into lawn care and and stuff like that. Chris said, "Eating, bro." Okay, that's nice. But with me, I always eat. I never stop eating. But except for tonight, I've ate one or two plates of hamburger helper with some cheese on top. That was about it. But pretty good. And then sometime this morning, I had some eggs. My grandpa made them. Shout out goes to him. And I'm also going to tell you that he's the best grandpa I've ever had. And my aunt Jackie, she's the best aunt that I ever had. And I pray that she's a keeper. Even though she likes to pick on me as well. But they only pick on you just because they love you. And when that is that I'm okay with people picking, but don't do it like constantly like my uncle Jeff does. But because it gets aggravating at times, and it just gets to where you know you can't tolerate it no more. It gets to where it's tiring and it gets old, and then it's lame. So the main thing is of this topic is to do what you can and do what your best thing, and do what you actually can do is protect yourself and protect elders and stuff like that. But I pray that my aunt is a keeper. As far as I know, she is, and she's the best aunt that I ever had. I can't ask for another one. There can't be another Jackie around here. That's my aunt. I can't ask for a better sister. She's my favorite. I can't ask for a better Johnny Dog. He's my favorite. And I definitely can't ask for Chris Urich. He's the most funniest guy out there. He, um, he's hilarious. So I just can't. I can't relate to Chris, but we're nothing alike. But I mean, we are. Me and him both are a little baldies around here, but it's all good. But we he's the most funniest guy that you'll ever want to meet, and each time he laughs, whatever he goes, "Boo," but it's all good, and it's funny and hysterical whenever he says and I'll tell you, whenever we went fishing over at the bypass canal. We went fishing. It was so windy that day. His chair. He come back and he said, "Where's my chair?" Or no, he said, "Yo, where's my chair?" I said, I looked around and I caught it by the end of my eye. And that thing was pushing, and it fell off the bridge and into the water. But it was the best. It was the best thing I've ever seen. It was hilarious, and you know, if that wasn't funny, I don't know what is. Donald Trump, he's the best guy around. I'm gonna tell you that much. Um, and it's a blessing. But there's everybody in my family right now I love, and I can't ask for another family that I have right now. They're the best family I've ever had. I can't ask for another one. I couldn't really ask for another Tiffany because she was hilarious. She said me and Chris went to his parents' plaza and we went and played some tennis and whatever. Real nice day that day. He had his phone and it was on, I guess when he was recording it was on himself. He was trying to figure out how to turn it around. And my mom goes, "Chris, are you gonna turn it around? Are you gonna record us or not?" Next thing you know, he's like, "Well, we're just playing and playing." She hollers one more time, "Chris, are you gonna record us? How do you turn it around? I don't want it to record me." So then, it was all hilarious and everything. It was a good one. I couldn't ask for another Tiffany or whatever, or another mom. She will be missed, and stuff like that. But it's a good one. Um, and there's days that when Chris comes over, I feel like she should be in the truck with us. But no matter what, she in a way, my mom is with us. Um, she's riding around with us. She's looking and hanging out with us. There's in a way. So yeah, and like how I like to say it is, away and away we go. And when I wake up every morning, I say, live to fight another day. And if that don't work or if that ain't funny, I don't know what is. And it's just a blessing to be alive. It's a blessing to have people. It's a blessing to have family. If we didn't have family, I don't know what we would do. Would we be out on the street homeless? I mean, what would we be? And I can't pray because YouTube's got something against it. But as bad as I really wish I could pray, I can't. But my mom will be missed. Um, and then I had another great grandma that would call me Slim, and I don't look that way now, but she will be missed too. And Nana, my great grandma, she that I stayed with in Pasco, she was a good one. She was a good dandy. She was hilarious. We did some backyard work in there in her backyard over there in Pasco, and it was a real good one. I'm not going to take it for granted, but I feel like that she could be watching YouTube right now, and it's a blessing to have people that can be on live right now watching. I'm not going to sit here and say that she's not watching me go live right now because I know everybody is. It's a blessing, but what would we do if we didn't have a family? What would we do if we didn't have careers? What would we do if we didn't have businesses? Or if we didn't have stores? You know, who knows where I would be at right now if I didn't have Jackie? Who knows where I would be right now if I didn't have Johnny? Who knows where I would be right now if I didn't have Jeff Harris? You know, I'm just I'm just I'm just glad to know where I'm at right now within this business and within the career. As bad as I want to cry right now to let everything come out of my eyes, I'm not going to do it because this is the truth. Nothing but the truth. I'm glad that we all have family around here. I would say let's pray, but I'm not going to say that because YouTube again has something against that. But there's days that I wish Taya would do better. Just come home. But she won't do it because she has a heart for them girls. They wouldn't be, those girls that she is with right now would not have a home if she was with that other parent, you know? So I take my hat off to Taya, and I take my hat off to Jason, even though he's just a big kid and we got into it last night. I hope to God that God touches those girls and keeps them in a good, safe home. You know, with me being a brother of the church, it's a blessing to be in church, but I need to do better ongoing. You know, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be right here if Jackie wouldn't have took me in. You know, I wouldn't be where I am right now if Jackie wouldn't have took me in. I probably would have been in a group home or somewhere just a hating it. And I'm glad to be where I'm at right now. But as always, keep making money, keep growing, and talk to y'all later. Chris, have your phone on you because I will be calling you. Keep y'all later. We'll be in touch. As always, keep making money, keep growing, and keep mowing. Cardinal on Life out.